Hey guys, David here, Breeze Flippers. It's almost the end of the week. Sales have been just steady, nothing fantastic. Haven't made any huge sales, but we've gotten a lot of stuff done this week. It's been a busy week at work, and so some of this stuff has taken a back seat because that's just the way it goes when you work full-time and you do this part-time. If this is the first time you've ever been here, that's what we talk about. We talk about what's sold, we talk about our business, we try to be transparent and tell you what's going on, the real side of reselling. Sometimes when you're a part-time reseller, it would be different if we were full-time. We'd be talking all the time about full-time reselling, but we work this part-time and we do our best. But sales have been okay. We had a few sales that went out yesterday. I'll cover those. I'll have to pop them up on the screen because they have shipped already. But we did sell another video game yesterday, Resident Evil Origins Collections PS4 video game. That actually sold for $12. We got $5.99 shipping. That was one of the big games, or the games that we bought during that big game buy just the beginning of the year. I sold something that I picked up last year in Iowa while home on vacation. It's Genuine Pony Cassette Single from 1996, Epic Music. I picked up a whole bunch of them at a garage sale. Somebody had come in and just bought all the rap CDs. And he said, oh yeah, somebody just came in and bought all my CDs that were rap. And I was like, well, that's cool. They left all the cassettes. Well, this is one of the cassettes. And I've already sold a few. I only paid $5 for maybe 15 or 20 of them. So it's already paid for itself over and over again. But this one sold for $12.99. It got $5.99 shipping. Sold a comic yesterday, so bread and butter stuff, comics and games right now. But we do sell a little bit of everything. You can kind of see that we sold a cassette tape, but we sold the Monster and the Wolf #1. It's from Mark Spears, a horror book, and ended up getting $8.99 for that and $5.99 shipping. Those books came in a sealed poly bag that was what they call just totally lost it. It's a blind bag. So everything's blind bag these days. But I bought a lot of 10 blind bags, and that was one of them that was in there. I thought it was one of the cooler ones. So, but that ended up, like I said, $8.99, $5.99 shipping. And then today we sold HO Scale Life, like coal hopper and other little train hopper. They were pretty nice. Just picked those up a long time ago, actually, back in 24, I think it is, 2024 in May. So didn't get a lot for them. They've been sitting in inventory for a while. They were probably going to get taken out here pretty soon or sold discounted heavily, but they actually sold for $11 and we got $6.99 shipping. So that's about it, guys. We're maybe hitting the $300 mark for this week so far, but it's slow and it's the weekends coming up. So we just kind of been working, on other stuff and trying to keep things flowing. We've been putting up a lot of listings. Yesterday, I did over 100 listings using my IPEVO V4K camera. And this new Corbie thing, I'll show it to you real quick because I thought this was kind of cool. I did it with ListEasier, so just, did the photos. But this is the little gadget that I was telling you guys about. And what's cool about this is the show and tell part of the show. What's really cool about this is that it holds the camera like so. So it slides in here. You can kind of see. Now, what I had to do was do a little modification because if you use it just as the way the camera comes, you can kind of see that it hits right here and you can't go any further out. So what I did was I took the camera off, which you can do. You see these little knobs. You can just take the camera off. I flipped it over, flipped the camera upside down. You can see that's the bottom. And now I can go this direction on it. So what that does is it actually allows it to stretch all the way out. So bigger items, you can actually get a better photo on them. So, or I can raise it up even higher and get a better angle on it and actually do that. So if you haven't picked up that Corbie, if you have the camera, go take a look at that Corbie. It gives you an extra 7 inches. And if you do that little trick there and you flip the camera, it gives you quite a bit extra space over the top, and it does make a big difference. I did a bunch of them yesterday. Just boom, boom, boom. Hit DVDs, I hit books, I hit comics. Trade paperbacks, I did a ton of them and popped them all up there in the computer, put them in the ListEasier, and boom. So I do have a link to the Corbie and to the camera in the show notes if you're interested. Yes, they are affiliates. Yes, I get a little bit of money back if you do buy them. But if you do, great. Thank you for that. but it is a very, very useful camera. So no matter how you pick one up, I will tell you that. But what it does me really great was it allowed me to take really nice pictures that were zoomed in enough and a 1x1 square, which is what eBay likes. And I didn't have to edit the pictures. So they came out really, really good. And it's decent, decent photos. You know, eBay scales down the picture a little bit anyway when you put it in there. So these work perfect. So it was fast, it was efficient. I think I did the photos in literally like, I don't think it took me longer than 40 minutes to do the videos, the books, and the comics. It was really pretty quick to do them all. So anyway, check out that camera if you think it's something that you might like. It's a lot easier, especially if you're using ListEasier, to actually take the cameras or pictures right into your laptop. It just does a lot better job. But I still have some stuff to get listed, and we're going to talk a few minutes about some of that that I'm going to show you guys in a minute. But I had these Tamagotchi watches that I picked up at the estate sale this weekend. And I did mention it before about, well, that one needs to be cleaned. I did mention it before about the, we bought some Arkham horror card games, and I'm going to show you guys those too, because I really want to get your opinion. But these two things were in that group that we paid $250 for. These sell for $70 to $80 each. I got to get them listed today. So that's gonna be one of the projects. I had to test them and make sure they worked. The other thing I got to get listed is this. I'm telling you guys, what in the world is this? This game right here, this card game, it's just a card game. It's actually just playing cards. I mean, they're beautiful playing cards. Sells for like $40. And I mean, I've not ever seen anything like it, but I guess they are a special artist or some sort of a game of some sort, but it's a full deck of cards, and picked them up. They had $5 on there. So I think the watches and this alone will make up almost all of what we paid. But gonna get those listed today. And that's just something I gotta jump into and get done. Just, you know, if they sit there, they're going to actually, you know, be part of the death pile. I don't want to do that. I want that money to come back as quick as we can. So, all right, let's jump into something I wanted to cover. I've been doing this for a while. I like to call it the comic corner, but you know, I've been doing a lot more research recently on doing some. You know, just different things on comics and trying to figure out things to send in, what I'm doing, you know, little different things that I'm working on. And one of the things that I told you before that I really like doing is going to CovrPrice. I like their articles and different things, but what I really like is their top 10. And last week we talked about it. I am so shocked that again this week, all of the comics in the top 10 sales have been independents again. So they're all independents. I think you don't even see one that's not an independent until you get all the way down to the runner-ups. And the runner-ups, I think, had one comic in it that was not an independent. It was the Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man Volume 1, number 36, that had some top sales. It's just crazy. So kind of made me start thinking a little bit about it. But I mean, the first one that's on the list is Nectar number 1 from Chris Sheehan, and it's just a regular issue, but had top sales last week of $100 and a 9.8, and 125 units sold. It's like a 584% growth, and the actual raw book selling for $32, so way over cover price, selling for $32. So I thought that was kind of cool, but you know, I wonder if this is like going to be a trend for a while, because, and where are people finding these? So I went to the comic book store and tried to see if you could get them. I couldn't get them. So they were sold out. So obviously somebody knows about what's coming ahead of time. And so it's either a social media thing that's going on, or they're doing something. I really don't know what the whole story is for what's going on with this, but I just think it's interesting. They're, you know, collectors are chasing these new properties. These are smaller print runs, obviously, because they're hard to find, but and they're speculating on like future adaptations. So I don't know if maybe that, you know, maybe there's rumors of movies coming out or something, but I kind of find it interesting. The second book on the list is Nectar number 1. It's the Jonathan Weishak 1 in 10 variable. I mean, very beautiful art and cover work, but I mean, where are people finding out about these? So I'd love to hear your opinion. You guys have one. You know, what is going on? Why is it doing that? But that book sold for $125 in a near mint plus. it hasn't even been slabbed. There's no slab. So that was actually the raw price. So I don't know, guys. And then the third book on that list this week is Murder Drones, #1. And I guess Murder Drones, my understanding is there some sort of a, I don't know if there's a cartoon or a series on YouTube, I believe. So that's interesting. So what's driving these things? So it's, I think it's kind of neat that, that these smaller independents are getting noticed. And I mean, maybe I need to start paying more attention to the independents, because there's some, if you're trying to flip books or find books, the only thing I would say though, in my opinion, is that I'm not entirely sure that these would be investments, right? I mean, if you find them, I almost feel like you got to flip them fast, unless you're buying them because you want to read them and there's something that you really like in them. But I got to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure that they would be a great investment, because I think these things might come and go really quick. I mean, the first and second book were Nectar. The third, fourth, and fifth books were Murder Drones, #1. So, and variants of those. So, and they all sold for way above, like asking price. So I don't know, guys. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. The #6 book is Ted OK. That's another one, but beautiful cover art and some stuff. And, you got some other ones that are down there, and that they all basically took over the top 10. The only one that's really not part of either is Ted OK or others. There's the House of Lothar and Mask. It's a direct sales book. So, I take it back. Mask is actually DC. My correction. I didn't even notice that, but it's the Energon universe. So, and I'm not sure if that's a newer, it looks like an older book. So anyway, so something's pushing that as well. But yeah, #10 on there was actually DC. So it's very interesting, guys. Like I said, I think you can't find the independents anywhere. So if you have a way of finding them, let me know. I'd love to get my hands on one just to see what it's all about. You know what I mean? I'd love to be able to get in there and look at it and see what's going on. But I kind of have a feeling that it's really being driven by maybe influencers. There's probably some other IP that's being used to push it. It's hard to say. I mean, so many things can happen. I mean, when you think about it, the Avengers, and I forget, West Coast Avengers, the one with Doom on the front, got a big hit when it was shown by, I think, Downey Jr., because he had a copy of it and threw it down in some TikTok thing, and it blew up, So things like that can happen. I don't know. It's interesting to me, though. But there are some books in there, and even in the top, the next one's the runners-up. You still got Murder Drones and Nectar in there. And then X-Files, that's another one, a newsstand. So interesting one from Topps. Just some different books, guys. So you get a chance, go out to CovrSpace, take a look at it, and you can see what's going on there. But I find it very interesting that these are doing well. And I don't know. If you get your hands on one, let me know. I'd love to see one. So, but I think I'm going to have to change a little bit of research and maybe do a little bit of a different strategy on that, because I need to see where these are coming from. I mean, if we're going to be, good investors or good, comic flippers, as we call them, I need to know what's coming up. And I mean, none of these books would be something that it seems like I'd be interested in, which is probably the reason why I've never really looked at them. But I think, it might pay to watch some of these indie publishers like Boom Studios, Vault, AWA, or Aftershock to see if, what else they're going to be doing. So, or something, about looking at webtoons and indie media, maybe kind of going out there and seeing what's going on, because that's where I think some of these are coming from. So, I guess some comics are now starting out as like a webtoon series, or, some sort of YouTube animation or Kickstarter projects, which I've seen a lot of those coming out too. So I guess, you think about it, those communities can drive, demand a little bit. When you think about that, that's one of the ways that Coffin Comics with Lady Death has been building some of their stuff, is they do a lot of Kickstarter campaigns, and they get a lot of interest in a series before they put it out, and it helps. So it kind of drives the orders and gets it out there in front of the people who are most looking for it. So Anyway, I think it'll be interesting to go through. I'm going to kind of start looking through the final cutoff order, you know, a little bit more to see what's out there and what's coming up. Maybe I can get some ideas from that, or, you know, talk to my local comic book store and see if there's any way they can get some of these in ahead of time. So I did put in a request for some comics. I'll have to see what goes on, see if they can get them or not. But hey, we'll give it a try. So. Just like I said, I'm not the biggest comic expert out there, but I am learning and I'm trying to understand these trends. But, you know, like I said, I learn from a lot of times what I hear from other people talk about, but these are surprising me. I mean, this is the first time that I've seen in a long time when I go through these lists that it's all independents, mostly all independents, which is crazy to me. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to hit some more comic book stores this weekend and see if there might be something in there that we can take a look at. I got some sourcing plans this weekend. There's a couple big neighborhood sales, hoping to hit those, hoping to find something. Listen, I'm going to take you guys into the storage room, which is actually the spare bedroom storage room. And I want to show you this other find that I made. I want some opinions. So I'm going to walk you in there. You don't have to see me walk. I'm actually going to take you in there. Okay, one of the things I talked about on the Sunday show was all this Arkham horror card game that I picked up. And you can kind of see this is one of the boxes right here. This, I don't know, guys. I am totally blown away by the prices that I've seen on this. So these are some of the actual boxes that I got. Of these boxes, this one's not complete. This one appears to be almost complete. This one's heavy. It's probably complete. This one's heavy and this one's heavy. I looked up prices on these. The lowest I can find is like $120. And this card game here is almost complete, but it doesn't have quite everything in it. But it's very interesting, guys, because of what, I guess I don't know anything about the game, but I'm trying to learn. But when you go to look at it, they've got the full book, and then there are some cards in here, but obviously they've taken out some stuff. So this is like the full game. But this is the part that I find very interesting. Now, I did find some comps for full sets, but this is I guess it's just well, it's been die cut, obviously. It's been laser cut, but this is a full set of the cards. And this guy was a serious player. I mean, he had all these things set up. He's got investigators, all the different stuff that's going on. He's got each of these different, what looks to me like different, maybe add-ons and different things he's got going on. He's got them all separated out. But these cards, that's basically what they are. I mean, they're just, it's a game, I guess, very similar to D&D, or maybe, I don't know. I have no idea, guys. And I don't even know what to price this at yet, to be honest with you. I mean, it's fascinating, right? It's complete. So what they did was, I think there might be pieces of everything in here. So I guess when I sell these boxes, I'm going to say there may not be complete, because I don't really know, to be honest with you. But I do have a bunch of them, or I could lot them all together and sell it. I've seen somebody that had several of these and lot them all together, and they did it on an auction and got $1,200 for it. Now I'm into it for $250. And also I got this box, which is also probably made by the same people, and it has the Avengers on the top. Now I'm very tempted to keep this box. I don't even know what these pieces are, and they may be part of this game, so I have no idea. But what a cool box for cards, if you really wanted a card box that was made just for, and I think it was probably made for like a Marvel's TCG game of some sort. But what a cool box, right? So, I don't know. I'd love to hear your opinion, guys. What would you price this at? How would you do this? Would you sell these individually? Like I said, probably, at least for the ones that are almost complete, over $100 each. I've seen this one, I think, almost as much as $200. I saw some of those for a lot more. I've seen them sell them in twos. So I don't know. The thing is I don't know anything about them enough to know what to actually price them at, or if they're complete or not complete. I mean, I can only assume, like when you grab one like this, that it has the instruction or the manuals. It has all of the little, these are like maps of some sort, I'm not really sure, but it has those in it, and it has cards, and it's already set up. The guy has already set it up. So I'm assuming that this is correct. So like this almost to me looks like a full set. So that may be worth $160 to $180. I don't know, guys. cassette. I am trying to learn this too, and I have no idea what I'm doing on it. But, you know, let me know. And I can tell you, we've been listening, like I said, like crazy. We've got books and everything else that we've been doing. So, I don't know. Oops. That's very dark now. So anyway, let me know what you think, guys. How would you list those? What would you do with them? I may be sitting on $1,000 or more. I don't know. And I want to get them listed like really soon. So I'm going to have to start doing some very, very serious research to try to figure out what's going on. All right, let's see what else we got going here, guys. That was pretty much it. Like I said before, to be totally honest with you, it's been a stressful week. Lots of things going on. We just got the ashes back from Ozzy, and yeah, it's going to be a tough night. But you know, he's at home now, so his final resting place. So that'll be nice to see. You know, it's hard to lose a pet, guys, and it's been tough. It's been quiet around here, so maybe that's part of it too. It's only been a week since that happened, or a little less than a week. So, but been a rough week at work. It's been hard, but it's, you know, there's some reselling lessons in there somewhere. You know, motivation isn't always consistent, guys, and there's always going to be something that's going to interrupt your day or interrupt your process or your flow or whatever you've got. But I think it's more important to be consistent and to just kind of keep moving on things. I don't know, motivation comes and goes, but you know, your system is what always keeps you moving forward. So, but like I said, this weekend, we're going to be doing some fun stuff. Garage sales do this. We may have my grandson this weekend, so he may be going with me too. So it'll be fun to see if we get him. We're not really sure. But I do know I'm going to hit some comic book stores. I am still working on some books that I am cleaning and pressing. I've done about 2 or 3. And after I've gone through them and realized they're not going to be CGC candidates, I'm probably going to sell them online. I'll probably sell them on eBay. I've been pulling some of those out that I was selling on eBay, and I'm putting them into my auction for Dibdit. So if you guys get a chance, go over to Dibdit, DIBDIT.com, take a look at that. Lots of fun stuff going on over there all the time. And we're going to have an auction on Monday night at 8 o'clock for comics. So come over and check us out. That's all I got today, guys. I hope your week is going to be good, and it's kind of starts to be good, or if it is good, it keeps going good. I'm hoping that some sales come in between tomorrow and the weekend. I did start a new sale yesterday. Got most of the items in there, I think, of in our store. So, you know, anywhere from 5 to 25 to 30% off on some stuff. So, you know, I'm hoping that kind of helps a little bit, because it has in the past and always has, and you always get a little bit of a boost when you run that sale right away. So always something to kind of look at. So anyway, hope your week is great, guys. I'm sure we'll probably do another update before the weekend or by the weekend, but I hope you guys are doing great and do well. We'll talk to you later. I'm David Breeze Flippers. We'll see ya.